Hello and welcome to a new video. As you can see, I managed to make a new makeshift studio. I want to feature a harbor scene today. It's not yet featuring a newly released set yet, but I figured I want to make a second video that's a lot better than the first one, hopefully, and actually see how it turns out. So, alright, every time I bring a set onto the screen, I will show the set number in the video. The sets that will be featured today will all be related to the harbor. Sometimes a couple of items are missing because these are all second-hand sets that I bought and they get sold for 100% complete and they're never 100% complete. Alright, so first I want to take the picture from the angle that the video is also getting taken in, and I just want to feature it in a harbor setting. So I want to digitally add water into the video, and I want to feature two harbor scenes right next to each other. So the first thing I want to think about is I'm going to bring up the second harbor. Whoop. They're all the 90s kits, man, the really cool looking ones. So they have to be side to side next to each other because I'm still working in a square. If I were to put them in a different way, I don't think they will look as good. So I've got a couple of base plates here, a couple of road plates, the good old gray ones. They're gonna be put over here. This is for the first harbor entrance. And this one is for the second harbor entrance. Put it right up to the road. There we go. This one goes right up to the road as well. And obviously this one has a giant red crane. Right, there we go. Here's the crane. Originally it's actually positioned this way, so I want to keep it in that original position. But I do have to say that the rope that came with the grappler, that rope is first of all not the original rope, so that really hurts me. And it was also broken, so we're gonna have to work with a broken grappler. But I figured I might as well use the broken grappler for the picture itself. So every time I shoot a scene, there has to be something happening. And in this case, I'm gonna have the grappler be broken off and a container will be falling down. At least I'm gonna try and make it look like it fell down. I'm gonna add the big boat to it. It's a beautiful boat, the Atlantic. Put it over here. It's a nice sound. So the boat is getting loaded up, and I have to make sure that this does not obscure the view of the boat too much. So as I said, I'm gonna make sure that it looks like something fell off. So I'm gonna put one of the, I'm gonna show it up close, one of the containers over here, and then have a second one fall down with the grappler still attached to it. I'm gonna try and make it look like it actually fell down, which is a decent challenge, I think. Well, this looks pretty okay. So next up, I need people to, well, I need minifigures like this guy, good old yellow face. I need them to look like they are surprised by what happened. And I mostly do that by having their arms up in the air and then having them levitate slightly backwards or elevate slightly backwards and act surprised. So this guy is over here, acting all surprised that it actually fell down. Ah, there we go. But first, this video is sponsored by GameResource.com and is your go-to webshop for affordable games. Life is getting harder and more expensive, and one of the escapisms, next to Lego, obviously, is gaming. His company has been founded by gamers, for gamers, with its sole mission to make gaming as affordable as possible for everybody in the European Union, including Switzerland and the UK. It will depend on the title, but most games are up to 20% cheaper than on their official web stores. They also sell game-related items such as controllers or headsets, Funkos, collector edition games and board games. They also do a bi-weekly giveaway on their website. And as a sponsorship for this channel, they are willing to give out a coupon for an extra €3 discount on checkout. The coupon and website will be displayed on the screen. Whether you wish to support the channel or just want to buy games at a steeper discount, use gold free on checkout when you order from www.gameresource.com. Now back to the video. Then we have a dock worker. He's also surprised that it fell down. I'm gonna see if I can make him stand up a little bit backwards, but still have him stand without any studs attached to him. I have to check if he is visible on the video, so that's great. Then we have the captain of the boat. I'm gonna put him, I have to like sort of check where he will be at. Guessing he goes here, man, because this Lego doesn't really need to make a lot of sense where he's actually at. He's also surprised, so his hands are backwards too. Then we need the crane worker, because that guy, his grappler fell down. So he has to be not very happy either. I'm gonna put him in view. He has to look down a little bit, but he's also like really unhappy about the container falling. Alright, so then something needs to be happening in the background. So I figured I'm gonna introduce this car. And I'm gonna introduce the pickup truck. Well, it's not a pickup truck, but forklift. Gonna have this guy drive over here. And this is not gonna make a lot of sense, but the car's gonna stand over here. So he's gonna be planning to put the container on top of the car. Then I have a really cool boat that I scored at a flea market. And it's not an actual model from Lego itself, not as far as I know at least. It is a really well-built boat. I have to say that. But yeah, I bought it at a flea market. So this boat will go in the background here, just to have a little bit of background filling. Because I'm thinking about the background being, if this is going to be a picture of an ocean or something along the lines, the background is going to be a picture of I think a city in the distance or something like that. Since this crane already has a container picked up, I figured that this really cool looking truck is going to be driving away from that dock. Currently it does not have a driver. So now I'm actually gonna not have this one drive away. I'm gonna have the other one drive away. Because that one still has a container on it, but I could obviously get it off. This one's gonna be driving away. And I'm gonna put this really cool looking truck because, oh my god, just look at how cool it looks. I hope it comes across well on camera, but I just love this design of the truck. And I'm gonna put it over here. So one of the crates fell down. This truck will have a door open because the guy that was in it has already exited. I'm gonna put it over here so you can see on the picture that the door is open. And then there's this really cool boat, the pilot boat. And I'm gonna have it sit roughly around here and have a dude with a life jacket looking at the fell down container. So you heard the noise and he's like, what's going on, right? I'm not sure if you can actually see him. I think if I turn him like that, you might be able to see him. Then I have a really cool looking truck that I want to have driving into the harbor. It's this truck. Unfortunately, it's missing some items and the stickers are not in the correct order. So at some point I will fix that. But if I put the truck over here and put his put the trailer on his backside, nobody's gonna notice that it's actually missing a part that is connecting the trailer to the truck. Now we have a really cool boat. This one, Diana. And I think Diana has a couple of parts in the boat that I bought on the flea market. I'm gonna have Diana like sit in the front of the view, a little bit over here. Maybe just a little bit like that, so you can actually read the name of the ship. That would be cool in the photo. And then we need a little bit more life. I'm gonna try and achieve that by putting a fisherman at the dock and have the fisherman's head look towards all the noise that just happened from the crate falling down. And then I'm almost finished with the entire setting. And now I need a little bit of backdrop. But before we do the backdrop, I'm gonna do a nice cycle for the fisherman as he came driving on his bicycle. Alright, I got a couple of containers left and I want to actually stack them in the background. So there's a little bit of filling. Like normally in a giant port there's a lot of containers, but unfortunately I don't have a lot, and the ones that I do have, they're also still in the attic, stored until my house is finally finished. I'm gonna store a couple of the containers over here. It's not gonna make a lot of sense, but it's gonna be nice filling for the background. I think this container is like a really cool container. It's from one of the train sets. Now the cool thing about that container is that you can stack a container on top of it, so that looks pretty cool. Then we have a giant motor. Let's see, where else do we still have some in view places? And I'm thinking maybe here, and then I have another empty container on top of it. That's pretty cool. That's gonna be the setting. Now I'm gonna take a couple of pictures, and after I took a couple of pictures, I will edit the photo in Canva, and with a little bit of editing magic, you will see the photo right now. Alright, thank you very much for making it this far into the video. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing, liking and commenting on the video. It really helps. Until the next time.